Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the first video of my Dalton series videos. I'm gonna do something. I've got this rock, which is quite blocky, very thick on the end, a little bit thinner right there, but very blocky, trapezoidal shape. Like that. I also have this that has a flat face right here that's untouched, and it's nice ridge right there already. It's just begging to be made into an adze. I am going to talk about this too, about something else different you could do with it. Here's another one. It's really blocky. Cortex test flake. Take that off, and it looks like another adze, or same as the last one. You could talk about other possibilities with this as well. So what am I going to do with this rock? I'm going to do two things with this rock. I'm going to make one gigantic big sloan out of it, and one gigantic big pile of useless debitage. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to make several tools out of this piece right here. I'm not going to make one big point out of it like you're used to seeing. There'll be some smaller Daltons in here. Most of the Daltons, I think if I remember right, the average Dalton is like 3.5 inches long or 3 inches long or something like that, even when it's brand new. There's some longer, 4 inches, 5 inches, and of course there's a few bigger than that, but most of the Daltons are in that smaller range. So Dalton people were descendants of Clovis people. The early Clovis people, Wenatchee, they went up the Columbia River and down the Missouri River and up every big watershed on the way. As they found large sources of rock, they encamped there, stayed there, procreated, built, expanded, explored more. And in the St. Louis area, there's a lot of Burlington, and the Dalton people there was actually a large Clovis, I don't know what I'm looking for, archaeological record there, and there's also a very, very large Dalton archaeological record there. I have some friends that have dug on the olive, what is it called? The olive site? Something olive site. I can't remember it now. It's a very popular Dalton site. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm going to use this. I have a saying that the flake you take from the rock should never be larger than the hammerstone you take from this. If you grip this really tight and was able to control your swing properly without hitting it too hard, you could get a little bit larger flake, but it is riskier too, because you're so rigid. It doesn't leave a lot of room to get away from sharp edges and stuff. I'm not discounting it. I was just throwing that in there. So I'm not going to remove flakes from this like you're used to seeing. By the way, I got the camera farther away on this one because I need room for the spalls to come off. I'll move it up closer when I need to. So let's say we want to, strike up here on this plane and take some stuff off down here. Well, you can see there's a concave spot there, so we won't be able to take anything big into that. but you could take some spalls all the way through to the other side of the trapezoid. Some Dalton spalls, adzes, but our modern flint knapping society, if we were going to set it up like that, we would just come in here and just right now hit these and try to strike these off to make a better plane for striking. But they didn't just do that. You prepare a flake, or you prepare a flake somewhat, and then you take the flake. So like, I want to use this as a tool. I want to use, it would be nice if I could get all of that as a tool, but I don't want to take too much from up here to get it and mess up this striking surface, or this striking surface. So I haven't 100% decided on that yet, but anyway, even a smaller one will still be, I'll make it thick enough so that you can use as a tool flake. Some of this is going to go really fast once things are set up right. I'm going to talk about what a Dalton person could do with this rock first, though, because there's lots of things you could do. So let's just continue where I started. So let's say we want to strike stuff off of this plane to get some spalls here for something large like adzes or Daltons. Then I would prepare a flake, take a flake, prepare a flake, take a flake, and then clean up my edge, right, using the tools, the things that I've already taught you in the past videos on how to use a hammerstone and take specific flakes, or you may already know how to do that. So, and then another way you could start, let's say you just need a whole bunch of end scrapers. There's a decent surface for striking on there. There's also a decent surface for striking on there. There's the other one to show it a little better. And there's one here. You could hit right there and take a spall off. It won't be right there. You'd have to come back and clean this up a little bit, because the direction, the way it's set up right now, would take something off like that. And you could end up with another blocky piece. So I could just hit this along there and boom, take a flake that I can make an end scraper or side scraper or some other kind of flake tool out of, take another one there. When I take that flake, it's going to create two ridges. When I take that flake, it's going to create two ridges. I'll be able to take more flakes along those ridges without any preparation to this surface. It'll just be slap, not slap, but punch, 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 and work yourself all the way up. And I would love to do that. It's fun, and to be honest, that's kind of the way I'm leaning. You take one or two spalls off right here and maybe make a whole bunch of end scrapers. Anyway, I'm just thinking a little bit ahead. Like, a flint napper in the Dalton area is going to do the same thing. They're not just going to jump right into this rock. They have to think about how they can maximize all the material and get as little waste as possible. Even though Burlington is there's a very large source of it, it's not exposed. You have to dig for this stuff. You can find it in creeks where erosion has pushed a lot of it into the creeks. But if you're a large population, you're gonna go through everything in the creek really fast, and then you're gonna have to wait for rains to put new stuff in it, or you're gonna have to dig. And there's lots of dig sites in Missouri, around the St. Louis area. Lots of them are on top of ridges. The ridges was the highest point, and they would, I don't know why, but just the Burlington layer was exposed right there. Usually the chert lies on top of limestone, So like quarry sites that dig limestone had to dig through chert first to get to it. All right, enough talk. So I'm just gonna, you just think about the things we've talked about already. You need the correct striking surface, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'll just take as big a flakes as I can get away with until it looks right, and then dang, I broke it. See? First flake, we'll call it mistake maybe made off because it was that, but that's what it should have been. Alright, same thing here. Take some back flakes to get this set up right. I want something, a striking plane that's kind of perpendicular to that, as close as I can. How's that? Clean it up. To make sure you expose so you don't overstrike, or not overstrike, but hit adjacent to your platform instead of at your on your platform. So let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Okay. Took some flakes right there. To bevel that, we've already learned that, right? I'm not going to clean up the edge, spend the time on it. I'm not hitting there, I'm hitting up here. I want it to be thicker. I want it to go in this direction. I'm going to, just like on this one, I put the back where I want the flake to come off, I put it on my pad. This one, do the same thing. Try not to hit it too hard this time. Okay, I got something. We'll talk about all the flakes later. I think I was scared I was gonna break it, and I didn't get everything I wanted. Alright, now I took those two to take something here, remember? So let me see if that looks good the way it is. I really want. Whoa, what's going on? I don't even see any initiations. There. The end of that was ugly. Was there a crack there? I don't know. Knock that off there. Okay, right there. And so that's thick. You could easily make an adze out of that. Now, I was talking about taking one there too, potentially. I think. Actually, I'm going to try to get something thin there, some kind of tool flake. But I'm going to flip this and turn that way. I've got some other things to work as well, so let's do that. Ouch. Isolate a little. See, they're bigger flakes. You got to think like creek walking video. Big flakes to take even bigger flakes. Okay, I have a striking surface, but see, wait, do I? Yeah. But whenever I'm done, I want a clean looking flake, something that I can just put a pressure flaker on. So if I'm striking here, then, and I'm going along this ridge, then it seems like this is sticking out quite a bit, so I'm going to clean that up a little. I'm imagining what the spool is going to look like. And I'm cleaning off the stuff around it. So I made a ridge that's more like that, but still the striking spot's over here. Okay. I'm going to support this one underneath, pushing right there, and then just hold this back here with my hand. Boy, that looks like that's going to spread out to there. I'd love to just knock a little bit off of it. It's right in this thin spot, and that has to go as waste. I shouldn't say waste. I have more I could say on that later. I don't like it, but I'm gonna give it a go. Got it. Nope, it didn't. Got too much of it. It's hit that and didn't go through. It dove under. Let's think about what to do with that. Not happy about that because I really don't think Dalton's would have made that error. The Dalton people. And I'm a little frustrated by that. Ooh, that's pretty. That's what we call for the ones who are familiar with Burlington's frog eggs. If you can see those little tiny spots in there, it's not frog eggs, but that's what we call it. There's a lot of it right in there. Okay, gosh. Yeah. Really took away my idea. Doggone it. For end scrapers. Let me think about this for a minute. I was going to strike there. It's unfortunate. I still need to try to show that somehow. Just gonna do it. so not happy about this. There is a crack there that stopped. That is still ugly. Trying to use this surface to see if I can get tool flakes. Feel them. Now that's, ooh, try to, some of that might be coming apart on that. It was pointy on the end. It still ain't coming apart really. There's a ridge right there. Come on, that's right. There. There. One I like. Okay, I'm only going to get long ones on this side where it's thicker. I want the longer ones for now, so I'm not going to take anything from here. I'm just going to keep taking from there and then from here. So I've got to get in there in this corner. That's something you don't see too much in Dalton's flakes. They're going to come off and left alone for quite a while. I'll show you, or explain it anyway. A little thicker than I wanted, but it's not, I don't know the right word, but it's in the archaeological record. They have thick ones too, is what I'm saying. Too much, then it's not enough. Now I see I'm definitely hitting too hard there. Not hitting too hard. It's not initiating fracture. Just having trouble hitting in just the right place. There. Golly. Ah. Never mind. There's one to use. Small space to hit. That wasn't it. Make a tool flake, but that wasn't it. Okay. Come up on this next one now. I'm just changing my angle to something really steep and striking just above where that ridge is right there. So I try to maximize the number of tools I can get left out of that. Alright, I'm gonna start here. That's still really steep there. Striking on a plane for all of these. This is not a good place to get into, but nope. A lot of these will just end up being like handheld scrapers. I can't see where it's hitting at all. Right there. Nope. Split it. That would have been an awesome tool. Love it. There's one right there. striking high on the plane. It's thick enough where it won't break when you hit it, if you don't hit it too hard. Along the ridges. Every flake you take creates a ridge. You're going to hit on that again. Cut myself then. Holding it really firm in my hand. Okay, pause. Okay, so when I spall like I have been, I usually have a piece of leather in my hand, and this is not it. I've lost a lot of stuff in my move, or my last move. Apparently, I just can't find a few things, but I should have had a glove. I cut my finger, put a band-aid on it, I'm fine. Anyhow, this is the core that's left over. What do you think? If you found that in the creek, what would you think? I mean, you could see where it was worked. Really, it just looks like it was worked from one face, from nothing from here. Just a discard or junk, but they made a lot of tools out of it. Look how big it was before. And you could even you could exhaust this, to something that's even smaller than that. I'll show you some of the tools I had. I ain't gonna lie, I was not happy with it at all. I didn't get the things I wanted. I have no idea why I was messing up. I know one part of it was I could not hit the right spot on the rock. I was missing. That probably had a lot to do with it. I got some really weird flakes that it's not one I really wanted to talk about. This is here's where I struck, and look how it's got an overshot. It's towards the end, I think, whenever I was taking some of the flakes off the core, and it's like a strike over a strike. It's not typically what you see. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's crooked, and so it's you have a hafting element that you're used to already, and it looks something more like it's going to fit something like that. This is one of the early ones that I broke coming off, maybe the first one. So it was set up right. This end looks right, to make an end scraper out of, but this one's all twisted. It starts in one direction and it just propeller twist. So that's ugly flake. Now, can they use it? Yes, but it's not like, I don't know, if you had I'm sure they had, you're gonna use this flake for this flake for this, and this one, we'll just keep it back and use it for whatever if we need to or something. I don't know. Ugly flake anyway. Another ugly flake. Crooked, twisted. There's where I struck and took off a whole bunch here. And there's an overshot, which is nice. That's fine. That's what you want for end scrapers. And there's a ridge. But anyway, it's just ugly. So let's talk about some of the good flakes. Well, let's talk about a medium flake first. This is, I thought was going to be a really good flake, but because it initiated and then hit again to take the flake, it screwed it up. It can still be used. I don't know. It can definitely still be used. I don't know if you could half that, or if they did stuff. I'm sure they halved big end scrapers as well. They're, the Dalton people worked a lot of wood, so they didn't just make a bunch of Dalton points. They made a lot of things to work wood with, and they cut grass too for baskets, so they weave things together. There's another. I got it in my middle, like it's not such a great flake. And this one is this is a good flake. It's an excellent flake, excellent tool flake. It's, when you look at it, it's got some squareness to it. You notice it? Like, see if I can find one of them crooked flakes again. You'll probably remember what it looks like, but that one ain't got any squareness to it. That one's got some squareness to it. It's repeatable. It usually has a diamond cross section right there where they follow a ridge, and it's usually flat right there, and it's got a bulb right there that's square with the flat part instead of twisting. So it needs, you could use it right now, but I'm sure they would probably square this base up a little bit more. And that taught me a lesson too when I was taking that rock, that maybe I shouldn't have done that. I wasted some material. I maybe should have squared this up where the strike contact was more over here, so that when you hit, this piece is perpendicular to your ridge line. So right now it's not. Still a good flake though. Like scrapers or, you know, handheld thing. I don't know. I guess you could hack that too. But it's a flake on a flake. It's got an overshot. That's what I'm used to seeing. It's not square though, like we just talked about, and there's a ridge there. It's a little bit crooked, but fine. There's 1, 2, kind of same. It's just all the things are there that you need. It's got some squareness to it. And you know that they take a pressure flaker and it's not just the ends, they shape the sides as well. If you've got one, here's a great one. If you've got one this is nice. It's, if you use the tool where the meat of the flake is, this is the ridge, so that's where the strength is. I don't need this over here. So you could use a pressure flaker to shape this to the shape you want. And one thing you can also do, I got these couple of flakes here I set back. These are decent flakes. It's got some squareness to it. It's got this big thing sticking out there, though. This is a decent flake. It's got some squareness to it too. Ridge right there, but I don't need any of that. So I'm going to show you what I think they did. And I think this was a handed down from Clovis. I think it was handed down from Clovis culture. So you can have an anvil. You create an anvil, and you have another hard stone. This one's too hard for flint knapping. It's got, there's some light on it, so it's good. You can see there's pits on it. It has wear, but everywhere the wear is, there's pits on it. It's too hard. There's no smooth wearness to it. It's just pitted wear. That means it's big strikes. I have to hit it hard to do that. And so it's too hard. You want a hammerstone that when you use it, it has some smoothness to it, and when you hit it, it gives. It has to make dust. This one doesn't make any. It kind of bounces off the rock. You can use a soft hammerstone for this too, but I'm hitting it high. Let's see. Alright. See that? I wonder if I put it there. Can you see it better? Yeah, I'll do it like this. I'm gonna bring this in. I'm just going to do it up here. Alright, so it's kind of like a uniface. You only strike from one side. The ridge is right here, and when you pressure flake, you would pressure flake to maintain that ridge, that diamondness. So you keep this flat down here, so you don't take flakes into the flat. You take flakes from the flat. This is the flat. So I'm just going to shape it. So I'm setting this flake on that ridge and pushing on it a little bit, and when I strike, I'm hitting, so I know that it, just practice it. They made flints for flintlock rifles similarly. I'm just using the anvil to take the flakes, and you know, maybe I'll go a little more. So with some shaping like that, now I've got something that's more squared off. The flat, it's squared off with the flat. So you just take some pressure flakes from the flat up to the ridge. Same on the end, and build your scraper. Here's another one. This part's sticking way out, we're gonna get rid of it. Like there's where I struck it. There's a ridge. It's sharp right there. It's a good flake. It's really short, but I'm just demonstrating. They would still use something like this, I really believe. You just have a third of it. That's all you need to do, and that'll be enough to give it some strength. Oh, and you can see where I've had tons of scrapers that give it to me to examine and stuff, and a lot of them you can tell like they've hinged up on top, like they're hitting something, like the hafting element. All right, so same thing. I'm going to hit from the flat, not from the ridge side. And I'm just shaping it into like what I think would be an end scraper. But if this was bigger, maybe I wouldn't want to do that. Maybe I would have just pressure flake right away and start using it as a side scraper, or make a denticulate out of it or something. There's something like that. Took a whole bunch of that off. Now you can pressure flake that to clean all that messy stuff up, and you're good to go. Make your scraper. Okay. This one I messed up early. I think I can make an adze out of it. Yeah. And because it's just, I mean, it's begging for it, right? Look at that ridge. And it's got, so it's got that triangle cross section. Nice and flat right there. We're gonna just clean it all up, hit it all the way from the sides, and come in. Once we get all that cleaned up, then we'll flip and take flakes off this side, because we don't want to take too much from here. But we'll see how it looks, but I might take some of this bulb off. We'll see. So, not that hammerstone, that's for sure. Alright, now, I want to try to think, there's one. Are there any tool flakes I can get off of here before I start wasting flakes? I shouldn't even say wasting flakes, because potato chip flakes that are square can also be used too, and you'll see that later. When you're grinding and you're taking, abrading the edge and taking your platform, that stuff, it's different from this. Okay, so let me set that up. missing again. There we go. That's why I'm not hitting too hard, or trying not to. I was also pushing this in down on there, not pushing hard, but resting it so it wouldn't flop when I hit. Okay. Hey, I'm proud of myself. Finally got a good tool flake. This is excelente. So again, we can take this and shape. We just knock the end off. It's a hard hammer to speed things up. Now you can do the pressure work to it. That's an excellent flake. There might be one problem with this flake that I see. There's cortex right here, and cortex can have a crack in it. When you take a flake, you can see the the crack will expose itself, right? But in the cortex, you don't always see it, and I can even see a little bit of a crack there. But and actually part of it goes all the way up, but underneath it only goes about a 3/16 of an inch. You can see it all right there. So it's risky. I would take my pressure flaker and try to get the rest of that off there to see what that's going to look like. Push it off. You want integrity to this thing. You're going to haft it, and you're going to apply leverage to it. You know, it's going to be hafted in something that looks maybe like this, and you're going to grab it like right there and right here and put a lot of force to scrape wood, or probably less force with hides. So you don't want that to break. You'll hurt yourself. Okay. There might be one little one there on the other side. Tap. There's taparoni. And there wasn't much there, but there's a little tool. That's what I was trying to get. This was the overstrike. Okay. Now, speed up a little bit and get into it. I've already talked about what I was going to do, so... some problem area right there. Just trying to work through a little. More of that came right out. There's one. That's a maybe. Flake, tool flake. Another one. I'm going to save that one because I think there's one there too. I'll try to get this one. I didn't make one. Tried to make a tool flake that wouldn't break. Some funny undulations there, but most of that looks pretty good. Yeah, I meant to strike it high. Still got the tool flake, but it's thin up here in the hafting point. Ooh, look at that. Well, that came apart. That come. I may not have a hammerstone to use. You can see the grittiness of it. Okay. Yeah, if this hammerstone comes apart, I'll be done flip napping. Until I can get more. Another one. Let's go up to the ridge, not trying to go over the ridge. So, when you work unifacially, you take flakes and then thicken the edge. Take flakes and thicken the edge. And repeat and repeat and repeat. Or you did like I did in one of the, if you want to learn how to use a learn how to use a sandstone hammerstone, try this videos where I did a uniface. I took shallow bevels from the flats to the flat side first, and then worked the rest of it after that. You can also do a brush and grind like I'm doing now. Or, yeah, brush, grind, and then take a flake like that. If you think you can maintain the control. Axes, or adzes, I guess I'm trying to say, they're, pretty expedient. You can make them pretty quickly, actually. Let's do some on this side for a minute. Need to fix the bit and a little better. That fixed most of that right up. Just that one flake, enough where I need some over here. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna make one with a flat bottom Some of them are curved like that. They kind of follow the flake, the curve of the flake. I think that is a great place to stop right there. So I got a little bit of a shape. Clean the camera lens off. It's square with a ridge. Got a bit that's already got, this is parent bevel in here, so you've got something where I can start shaping it right there whenever I get to that point. I'm gonna do some more shaping on the side over here. Trying to clean that up a little more, level it out, flatten it out, and then that'll also make this worthy of striking this way. So it's not really ready for good clean strikes, predictable flakes, but we can make it that way. Remember, whenever you want a really smooth bevel on this side needs, with your striking on, needs to be in good shape, nice and clean and stuff. If you see you're not getting that flake, it's not initiating deep enough, then by just brushing and striking alone, then you need to go back and grind it some more. Oh, strict angle over strikes. Same, just a shorter version of it, and I can still get the flakes I want on the other side, the bevel I want. Alright, kind of tidying the edge up a little bit where it'll be, I get a lot of good predictable flakes. Not quite there yet. Don't do anything on this end. Another reason I don't like to scrunch down is I'll push them into my fingers. I used to do it a lot. And I would keep a gap, but every once in a while you can get a long pressure flake from an hammerstone and from scrunching. And so I like this way lots better. Way more control, safer, I don't get cut. I ain't pushing into my hand. Still some blending in some places before you get full length flakes. I'm pushing really hard. I'm grinding down, pushing in really hard, and pushing down really hard to remove any small flakes. It's white. I can't. My eyes aren't very good, and maybe this will work pretty well. What was I going to do there? If you can control potato chip flakes like I was talking about in some of my earlier videos, and you can make these and they're fun. Grate some of these a little more, I guess. Some of them are still crushing a little. I don't think the pushing hard in and down was helping. Was enough, I mean. So I'm scrunching this off pretty easy even after doing that. It shouldn't be that way. didn't get it with the first one, but I made it with it for the second one. There's no real, I don't think, functional purpose for getting these like I'm wanting to get them. It's more of aesthetics, I think. Because it doesn't matter right there where you're going to haft it. As long as, I mean, you got the shape and stuff right. You don't have to make your flakes and stuff pretty. And get that bevel just right and all of that. Okay. I'm going to square this up this side so it's square with the ridge. Alright, I like that a lot right there. That's those flakes. They really built a nice bevel. Out here it's a little bit more rounded. All that's going to be exposed, but the hafting is going to be up here, right? And I just love it. I was just trying to build something nice, more triangular instead of rounded, like a rounded triangular, and trying to come to a little bit more of a point where it's narrower in the back. But I'm done with this side for sure. I know, I mean, I've seen some really nice adzes, but I've seen some really utilitarian, and they don't look as nice, but the business end is what matters. And the hafting element needs to be secure. As long as it cuts wood, doesn't break, it's a good adze. I don't know much about the real ones, to be honest. I can only assume certain things without talking to experts or handling real ones would be better. I would assume these are ground for hafting, but I don't know. Let's see. Alright. Let's see if we can fix this business end. Strategic strike maybe right there. Might fix some of that, or do I just go in like this? I gotta establish the bevel first up here. I need to take this flake. So I need to get this flake. Didn't go past it. Okay. them to climb up that ridge a little. So I want this to be pretty steep so it's easy to continue to take flakes off of it. If it's too steep, it'll be a lot harder to take flakes off of it later. Can't see this Burlington like I can Knife River. I ain't gonna lie, I just kind of have to grind and hope. I can't, some of it I cannot see. I sure like to be able to feel under that flake, so I'm going to do it like this. Yeah. See, this side needs to be really smooth, so I have to take flakes off until I get to that ridge. I'll lose length doing it. It's just all uniface. Oops. Uniface technology. I want to hit it right there. Where's my? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yikes. Yeah. Try it here. Uniface, you take a flake, you grind. You're not just grinding, you're scrunching to create the platform to take the next flake. You just keep doing that. I like it. I like it. Already ground. I think so. Pretty tight, pretty tough. It's a scrunch, so it must have been done. wonky platform and that low divot that I needed to hit. Oh God, that doesn't look right. Okay, it's gonna get ugly a little before we get pretty again. That one was nice. I needed it. Maybe that'll really help me get there, because this along that ridge right there, that's, I can't take flakes on it, so I got to take flakes next to it. I'm really increasing that bevel. I really like it. That wonky place. See if I can get right there. Just catch it. Just catch it. Just catch it right there. Yes. I need some more ketchup. Oh, yes, but it's not pretty because I didn't have the right striking platform. Doesn't matter. Okay, do it again. Repeat. Scrunch all the thin places off. Any flake that can come off, you scrunch it off. I'm pushing even along those ridges. You have to thicken that edge, raise it up, because with uniface it's too easy to hit from a too thin an edge. Alright, now we're getting through some of the ugly parts, so it's kind of ugly when you're in some places. Like right now, it's not pretty. You would never want to use that bit to cut with. You'd have a gouge here, and a gouge here, and a gouge here. No clean cuts. Just acted like it didn't even grind it right there. Scrunch again. This is how you resharpen these bits. I mean, it might be dull already, and maybe you don't have to do any scrunching before you put the hammerstone to work, but I don't know, maybe you do as well. but regardless, when it gets dull, it's still uniface sharpening percussion. My question is, though, to myself, is did they take them out of the hafting element to do this? I think it would be decently easy to do it while it's in the hafting element, but I guess that'd be something I'd have to try to be certain. This wood bit wouldn't cut very good right now either because of this messed up spot right there. I should take a flake right there. It's exposed and asking me to do it. For sure. Come on. Man, it's such a tight little spot. Come on, eyeballs. Oh, I got it. Some of it. Dang it. I guess we'll just keep doing what we were doing. Getting closer. Pushing lots of flakes off. Get rid of all the thin spots. And you have nothing but thick spots left to hit. too early for that. To knock that off right there. I'll do it this next round. I should have focused on really fixing this underneath part first, and that could have ended up with more length. This would be a nice heavy small heavy adze. We'll be able to really do some work. I'd love to try it out. Okay. Yeah, I was starting to get through it. Sounded funny, like it was about to hinge. Kind of a deeper bulb too. Not real smooth coming out of the bulb and into the body of the flake. So I barely got it without creating a problem. Okay, let's get a little more rounded if we can. Okay. And that backwards to on those ridges to try to press off a little pressure flake along that ridge to make this underneath side smoother. Okay. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We're almost through it. Maybe just one more will be the last one. If not, that one, and it for sure should be the two more. And we're done with the bit. I'm not familiar with the terminology. I guess it's a bit, the bit. I'm not grinding anything but the spot I want to hit and where I'm going to clean up adjacent to it. But I'm not hitting any of the thin spots now because this might be it. It might have been it. Last one. There we go. There's the funny spot, and be very careful there. Because really, brushing is not, to me, how you finish it. You gotta clean off the deltas and clean them clean without over striking so that this is sharp. There's one flake I need to take. to straighten it out a bit, make it more symmetrical. I'm just abrading that part only. I don't want to braid where I might not strike again. That was right where that last mess up spot was at. So okay. All right. What about right there? Maybe a hair. Yeah. I don't know if this is what they did, but that's what I'm doing. I'm putting some finish flakes on it. Some pressure flakes. Make that edge duller for whenever they haft it. Because this thing, I don't know, it's probably not designed to move around in the hafting element. It's going to be my guess, because it's unsafe and it won't be as effective. So I'm sure they bound them very tight. We're going to give it a treatment like as if that's what's going to happen. Same here. I'll start towards you and work towards me. Alright, there's my adze. Business end, cutting end. Hold like this, hafted, and let's pretend my hand is the wood. When you strike, you never hit farther than where the bevel is. You always keep the bevel up off the wood. So you have to make sure that you have angle here to cut, because if it's too straight in, because your bevel is too steep, then you're only going to be chopping and not, I don't know, cutting. So you don't want that too steep. I even wonder if it's too steep myself. Ridge. I just took flakes along the sides, up to the ridge, I left that in completely alone, except for anything I might have needed to do to help take a flake someplace else. That's it. And sharpen. Let's see. We can do something with this one a little faster. Long ways to go there. Sharp. It's sharp all over the place. This is one of those balls I took off earlier. Said something about making an adze out of. Got to get up on good striking surface, so all that stuff has got to go out in here. Okay, that's all of it there. It's rounded too much there. Don't like it. Don't like it. I got it. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll work the other side to it. You can see symmetry on this side, but where the ridge is at is way over here. Almost. Should I reestablish that ridge? There's an idea. I can move the ridge over. No. I'm not going to do that. I see a reason why. Ooh, crack in there. Still in there from earlier. establishing the ridge. Hump be gone. Got through maybe all of that crack then, and worked it all the way over to the ridge line right there. So that means from there, draw a line from there to there and push flakes to the ridge, and that's what you get. That's what you'll end up with. I like uniface stuff. I think a lot of people are intrigued by uniface stuff. Uniface technology. Especially if it's a point. Because many of the things that tools and stuff that you work either unifacially or bifacially end up as a point. Either unifacially or bifacially. Sometimes. I don't know if I said sometimes or a lot of times, but probably should say sometimes. Okay. Bigger flakes. Okay, right to the ridge. Love it. Can't strike on those ridges. Gotta clean them up. Clean up all the way to the edge. See, I'm just leaving them thick. So when I go back and scrunch, I'll have a thick place to hit for a platform. Hit the thin place, thin place. I'll hit both of those thin places and you'll see what's left. Right there, right? Thin platform. Protrusion. Some might even call it a nub if it was bifacial. More on that future video. Sharp over there. grind it and just hit the parts you want, because it's got to be ground anyway. You. Two or three left on this side. Blending towards the tip. Shaping towards the tip. And then we'll finish the tip. It's a little misshapen right here. You can tell too. When you look, the ridge, the diamond section, this is just protruding, so maybe it didn't matter to them because it's way back here in the back, but I don't know. I'm doing it because I don't know, and I'm doing it because I want to, I guess. That is not going to come off. Okay, now the tip. This is more like a gouge. That ridge, it comes all the way down and pretty pointy, so that would make a good gouge, strong. I need to get a little bit of that cortex off there though to make it right. A little ripple right there from this was taken. I don't think it's gonna mess with me though. Yeah, it is a little bit. And to overstrike it a hair. All right. So hard to hold. Okay, I'm just grinding the sides, not anywhere from there down where the bit is at. Okay, another woodworking tool of some kind. Just haft it from there to there, and you just use that. It's short. I would love to make one long. Yeah, alright, that's it.